The 4/3 platform is history. Well, welcome back to the vlog, guys. Yes, another kind of sad bit of news. I hate constantly doing these little vlogs, and it seems to be depressing news. What is going on with the industry, guys? I don't get it. Well, now Olympus said, well, as of yesterday or day before, they said, we are no longer going to create any more of our 4/3 lenses. Now, they had about 20 or 25 available. Some of the really expensive ones went up to like $6,000, right? So it's just the platform is just not being used. People don't like it. They want bigger size sensors, right? It's the same thing with Nikon. Nikon was talking about creating this DL line of cameras, which were 1-inch sensor cameras. And they talked about it for like a year, 2 years. After 2 years now, just the other day, they said, you know what? We're gonna discontinue the line before even creating the line. Right, guys? It's just, there is this churn in the market, and people are looking at what is currently out there, and they're saying, well, I kind of want a larger sensor. I don't want a smaller sensor. So what Olympus has said is we're going to concentrate on our micro 4/3 or our Amzuko digital lenses, and we're gonna push that platform, let's say, to the next level. So if you guys take a look at any of your grandparents or great-grandparents' images, you'll see a lot of them are contact prints, and those prints were made from large, massive, medium format cameras. Now, of course, they were film at the time, but they're medium format. The sensors were this big, all right, guys? So if you look at those images, you will see that the clarity on those images are second to none. They are absolutely just tack sharp. They're just absolutely incredible. Okay, then what has happened was after that medium format trend went, they said, well, we need a smaller camera. So then what happened was the 35mm camera was invented. Now a full frame or 35mm camera is fine. Okay, it takes incredible pictures, and I think the sensor is big enough. Now in the 70s, things started getting a little bit more stupid, as I would call it. They wanted stuff even smaller, compact, little Polaroids, and let's call them 110 Instamatic type stuff. Now, what has happened with the Instamatic, or with, let's call it the 110 era, is you are shooting on a piece of film like the size of my pinky nail. What does that matter, right? Well, basically you have no pixels, you have no data, right? They're so microscopic, so small, so tiny, that if you blow the stuff up, it looks like crap, guys. It looks like crap. The same thing holds true with these smaller and smaller sensors. I've talked to you guys about the, shooting with iPhones and with camera, with any type of smartphones, and also with the smaller sensor cameras. Yes, they look great. I mean, they shoot 4K and all this stuff, but it's this big. It's this big, guys. If you want to blow it up to anything substantial, you'll see all those pixels. It just doesn't hold up. Things are migrating to bigger and bigger and bigger. The smaller technology is just, people are looking at it, they're not getting enough value out of the size of those cameras. You have a camera that literally, for example, on the Sony A7, you have a full frame mirrorless camera that is not that much bigger than a micro 4/3. I mean, nominal, let's call it. All right. So I really believe that the micro 4/3 are going to hold in there, for, I would say, a few more years, but I think they're going to be relegated. I think they're going to move away, and they're just going to be history. That's just it. That's my personal opinion. I don't know about you guys. What do you think? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that still shoot micro 4/3, and, they'll probably flame me for this thought, but I just think that the thought process is valid. Things are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and, the resolution is getting better, but the bottom line is you cannot get more resolution or more megapixels on a smaller sensor. You peak out. You get to a certain point where there is no more left. I don't care what you do. It's still shooting on a small sensor. So to really get better, let's call them better images, quote unquote better, but images that you can really get deep into, the only way to do it is bigger sensors. So I'll give you an example. If I'm shooting a wedding, usually I'm shooting standard full frame. Let's call them 35mm size digital cameras. As soon as I start shooting my fashion work, I immediately go to a medium format. I don't care if it's Hasselblad or who it is, but it's medium format. Why is that? The bottom line is I have a ton of data to play with. Now, for me, I'm a professional. I don't crop in very much. I'm not shooting willy-nilly. If I'm shooting a fashion shoot, I'm really getting tight. I'm getting in there. I'm not wasting my megapixels. Many people, they shoot really wide and then they go crop in post-production and they're like, yeah, it looks great. Well, if you take a 20 megapixel image, for example, and you crop in 50%, guess what, guys? You have a 10 megapixel image, right? You might as well just use your camera phone at that point, right? So anyways, I shoot with a medium format so that I have a huge sensor, so I can now take that data and mush it and manipulate it however I want. And I could then also enlarge it to massive size, either billboard size or maybe even an A4 or just simply magazine cover size. It doesn't matter, but it looks tack sharp. You could do the same thing with full frame, but now you're limited to the amount of pushing and playing that you can do with those pixels. More is better for the most part. Obviously, better pixels are better than more pixels, but the bottom line is more still is helpful whenever you're doing any type of pushing and pulling images. So that's kind of my rant with this. It's sad to see 4/3 going the way of the dinosaur, but I think it was inevitable. Seeing that no 4/3 cameras were put out there in the market for over 6.5 years now, guys, that just tells you the story. All right, people don't want them. There's not enough intrigue for them. They just don't need them or want them. And like I said, my personal opinion is I think that the Micro Four Thirds will become obsolete also. APS-C will be the next Micro Four Thirds, and full frame will become the standard. And I do also believe that mirrorless will become the camera of choice for even professionals. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think about this topic. Are you interested in the Micro Four Thirds? Are you moving away from 4/3 into APS-C or maybe even full frame? Are you moving into mirrorless? What are you doing? I want to know, and so does the community. So that's it. As always, if you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find a lot of photography tools that I've invented over the years for photographers just like you. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.